Hi everybody, welcome to Quality Escapes. We're looking at the host's dashboard and tonight we're going to talk about amending the booking calendar. Now let's assume that you've logged in, you've made an account and you've uploaded at least one property. In the process of uploading that property, it would have asked you two questions. What's your weekday rate and what's your weekend rate? Now the weekday is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, while the weekend rate refers to Friday and Saturday. And then it takes those two prices and it auto-populates your entire calendar ongoing. Now the thing is, that's just done to make things quick and simple. Of course, many of you are going to look at that and you're going to say, hey, look, there's holidays coming up like Christmas or Easter, or maybe, depending on what country you're in, other events. And you may wish to increase the price for certain times of the year, or you may wish to block out certain times of the year because you may be wishing to use the property yourself, or you may have a booking from another calendar and you need to block out things on this calendar. So this is what we're going to do today. You've got your dashboard here. Now, in the case of Mr. Traveller here, if we go down the left, we can see that Jack Traveller has 4 properties: the Abbey Hotel, Sandy's Cabin, Robert's Home, and Dallas Hotel. The 2 hotels are the larger of the 2 properties, and these are just single properties. To keep things simple, we're going to look at the Dallas Hotel that has many rooms. So what we'll do is we'll go down to the calendar on the left, click on the calendar. Up along here, you will see the first thing it's going to ask is what property you own that you're referring to. Now, if you have a look here, one of them, Sandy's Cabin, isn't there, and that's because it hasn't been approved yet. But these 3 properties that have been approved are all live. Now, if you only have one property, clearly that will be the one that comes up and will always default to the property that you've got. But if you've got multiple properties, like if you're a chain of hotels, you'll be able to go to any one of your properties in your chain. Once we get to that, we're going to pick the Dallas Hotel, and it now defaults to the day that we're at. So as making this video tonight, it's September 13th moving forward. Now we can use the left and right arrows to go left or right, and you'll also notice on the left hand side is the rooms and the room numbers. So with the Dallas Hotel, in the setup we had 4 types of rooms. We had a penthouse, we had executive room, we had a standard room, and we also had studios. And beside them are the numbers of the rooms. It's important that we did this because that allows the website to identify the different rooms and the different pricing. Now, when we have a look here, we can see the pricing that automatically got auto-generated when you did each of the setups of the rooms in your earlier Out of Property section. Now let's just say we're looking at a standard room, and the first thing we want to do, let's say, was block out. Now we've got, we'll do a studio actually. So we've got 4 studios, and let's say we want to block out these 2 for the night of the 15th and the night of the 16th in room 196. We would simply go over to the left here, we would click on Studio. That takes us to the room's own calendar. Now, looking at the 15th and the 16th, which is here and here, I would click on that, and up comes a pop-up for a day or a day or more. So we would go a day or more. So we go 16th to 17th. Sorry, 16th to 17th. Save. Now that should block out those 2 days. When it refers to a date on this calendar, it's referring to the night of. So the 16th means the night of the 16th. So, and the 17th means the night of the 17th. So now those 2 rooms have become unavailable. Now, if we were to go back to the linear calendar for Dallas Hotel, and we went down here, can you see that room 196? Unavailable, unavailable. So that's great. Now comes the next one. Let's say let's say we want to increase the price of this studio room from $39 to, let's say, $79 on those 2 nights, because we knew there was less supply, and maybe it was a long weekend or a public holiday or something that, or maybe you just felt that, it was a good idea to increase it. So now we would go back again to where we did before, and then we would go down to those dates again, which will say the 16th and the 17th. We'll say a day or more, 16th, and we'll go 17th there, right? And now we can put the new price in, and we may decide that we want the price for that particular room to be at, I don't know, $99. There we go. Save. Now if we go back to that and we have a look, room 195 is now set at $99.99. Now that's also happened down here, that moved that one, because, and the reason it does that for those particular rooms is because it's assumed you're dealing with studios, and it can't, when people are booking from a website, they're the guests and they're looking at a hotel. You'll notice that the hotels always put their rooms together in clumps, and sometimes they're called high floor or executive room or whatever. Well, they can't have all different prices for a room that has the same, categorically the same name. So if you happen to have what's called, let's say, an executive high floor room, that means all the executive high floor rooms are going to share that same price, because it's the only fair way to do it. So when you move the price for that, but it didn't move it for the rest of them, just for the group of rooms that were in that studio, and it didn't affect the ones that were either cancelled or unavailable. Do you see that? They've remained blocked. And that's how you do the calendar. You can, if you go back to here, you can go back up to the top, you can choose different properties. So Robert's home is just a standalone home. So this might be if you have a holiday house that you're renting, and you'll notice it says 3-bedroom property, because with a holiday house, you're quite often renting the house as a whole. You're not renting one room and then another. We're not doing like that B&B one where you can let out separate rooms. That would be called a guest house, I guess. But if you're just renting your holiday house out over certain periods of the year, maybe Christmas, Easter, whenever, then it sees the whole property as being a single property, because you get to rent them all at once. And then, of course, you can block it. If you wanted to block the 19th, you could go to there, you could go to there. You would simply go down to the 19th there, and you would block out the date, 19th to 19th, save, and you can see what's just happened. It's become unavailable for that date. And, of course, if we went back to the calendar and we went down to Robert's home and we looked at the 19th, there it is, unavailable. So I hope that's made the calendar a little bit easier for you. You can move it forward and backwards. There's arrow buttons up here if you want to go to the next month and so forth, or you can use your month up here by putting the dates in. Okay. Sometimes if you happen to click on one of these calendar buttons and you use your arrow keys on your keyboard, you can move across using your arrow keys, and that will also go up and down. If you've got a property with multiple rooms, you can use your arrow keys to go up and down, just to make things a little bit simpler. Okay, guys, thanks for that.